Hope y'all are having a good one. It was raining, I'd say ever since 7 or 8 o'clock last night up until about 1 o'clock here, Kentucky time. So wherever you are all at on the 3rd of January, there's your weather forecast from the past. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about this story. For those of you who don't know, I do Doordash, and it's a good way to make some money, especially right now while my kid is just starting school, and I really don't have a lot of childcare options from when she is out of school. So this right now is just something to make a little extra money. So let me fix that. Okay. So a lot of people seem to think that the people who drive for DoorDash, like, they're the ones that pocket all the money. No, that's not true. DoorDash is going to take a good cut of that. And because there are more drivers on the road than there are, people who actually work at DoorDash, they're obviously going to be making more money off of, the more drivers that are out there. Plus, there's also fees and taxes and so on. So I'm just trying to find a good angle. All right. So there's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of misunderstandings, but for the most part, everybody's pretty cool about it. So let's get into this story. Now, this happened a few weeks ago, and the more I thought about it, the more annoyed it just really ate at me. So how it works for when you're actually out doing dashes is, you'll get a notification while you are currently active and like you're on duty, and it'll tell you where you're picking up from, how many items, and then at the bottom it'll give you an amount. That amount can have like a little plus symbol next to it, indicating that there could potentially be more money there when you pick it up, but roughly that's about what you'll make on it. It doesn't always compute a tip. I mean, I've went and dropped off something that I thought was only going to make me $3. I actually made like almost a $30 tip on it. So the opportunity is out there, but that, that's the exception, not the rule. So how it works is you accept it or you can decline it. If you decline it, you hit you hit a reason, like it'll give you like a little menu of reasons why you don't want to take it, and that's really it. It can hurt your acceptance rate, and if it falls below, I think like 70%, then your account is eligible for deactivation. But there are just some orders you just don't want to take. But this one was different because I accepted the order. It was to get someone's order at Zaxby's. If you're not familiar with what Zaxby is, it's a fast food chain. I really only saw it starting once I got into like maybe Ohio, but definitely Kentucky. And it gives you the person name and it tells you what they're getting. When you get there, you have to click the button at the bottom that says you've arrived at the store. You then have to click another button that indicates to DoorDash that you have the order, you have confirmed that you have everything, and then it'll jump you to another screen in which you can hit the little directions button, and it'll tell you how to get to that person's place. And there's usually a widget in there to call or text them if there's any issues. Well, this person, on this fateful day, she did call me multiple times, and it was a rare anomaly. So what ended up happening was she called me as I was turning into Zaxby's. And she tells me, hey, this is so-and-so. You're picking up my order now. Hey, when you get there, can you tell them that all I want are the flat wings? It was like a chicken wing meal. And I want extra sauce on them. And I said to her, okay, well, I'm just pulling in now, so there's a possibility that it's already been made. She says, okay, well, I tried calling them a bunch of times and no one answered the phone, and there's no memo on the Doordash website in order to let them know. And I said, okay, I'll go in there and I'll talk to them. I go in, her order's already made. Like, crap. So I asked the person there, I said, look, I know the order's just made, and I'm really not trying to be difficult. However, is there at all a possibility to get, like, for her to get all wings? I said, and I told them that she had just called me and then just told me that that's what she wanted and that she had tried calling. Well, the employee's first response to me after I had said that this customer was trying to call their store, her reaction to me was, oh, well, I just got here. I'm like, okay, well, the other like 8 or 9 people that are currently behind you have been here and no one answered the phone, if that is the case. So, I'm making sure I'm getting in line to pick up my kid. So they said there's nothing they can do. If they have to refire it, it's actually going to, they have to recharge, and, oh, she should have called us. And I'm like, okay, so this isn't going to end well. So I called the customer back up and I let them know, and I said, hey, I just spoke to them there. They said they knew nothing about the phone calls, and they said that they can't do all wings. The order has been made, and if they were to do it, they'd have to throw everything out and remake it again, and it's a policy issue. I'm just trying to, like, relate to her as a person. Like, yeah, I understand it's a crappy situation, and yeah, there should have been someone there to answer the phone. But she goes, okay, well, I'm going to call and I'm going to say something to them because that's ridiculous. And she said repeatedly, she goes, it's not your fault. She goes, I know it's not your fault. You're just trying to deliver orders. I'm like, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I get her order and I bring it to her house. I've been there at least once before. I didn't have any issues with her that time. And I get there and I'm handing her food, and then the next thing, hi, how are you? We do that. She says, oh, where's my Casey's? I'm like, your Casey's? She goes, yeah, I ordered Casey's. That should have also been on your order. Casey's General Store is a local in-town gas station. Some gas stations do go through DoorDash. I've delivered from at least 2 to my memory. Minute Mart and Casey's. Oh, and Walgreens. I've done Walgreens orders. Now, how it works is, yes, there is the option to pick up another order before you get to your first order, or you can pick up another one while you're there. It all depends on how busy it is. However, if I don't select it, I didn't grab it. So I told her, I said, oh, someone else must have grabbed the order. So she said, oh, so it doesn't go to you? And I go, no. I asked her, I'm like, what? I'm like, clearly it was 2 separate orders? She goes, yeah. I go, yeah, someone else probably just picked up the order. Oh, but they both don't go to the same person to make it easier? I said, I wish it were that easy. Make a little extra money. So she goes, okay. And I showed her on my phone. I'm like, aside from you, I don't have anything else. All I have is the Zaxby's, because it doesn't mix and match 2 different locations into one order. So, like, if I were to get 2 orders, like if it wanted me to go to Pizza Hut and it wanted me to go to Taco Bell, like, it would be 2 separate things on my phone that I can jump back and forth from, but it doesn't list them under the same person. So I said, yeah, just hang tight. Whoever grabbed it should be here momentarily. So I go into town. I'm inside an O'Reilly's just looking at, car accessories. And my phone goes off. It's this lady. And then she's telling me again, oh, well, Casey told me they're going to be putting everything back on the shelves, and I don't know what to do, and it doesn't say that anyone's on the way. And I said, ma'am, I have no idea what's going on with your order right now. But I was trying to also make the point too, like it's outside of my control. Someone else has the order clearly, because she had said that the order had been accepted. I'm like, okay, well, if it had been accepted, someone's in the process of doing it. So I'm trying to tell her, well, maybe they had another delivery, maybe they are falling behind, maybe they got stuck in traffic somewhere. I'm just trying to find ways to get her to like kind of calm down and relax, because she's being extremely hot-headed about it. So talking to her a little bit on the phone still, and I said, she goes, she says to me like, oh, I just figured, both of them would go to the same person so we don't have this problem. And I said that would be a wonderful thing. Unfortunately, that's not what happens. I said to her that there is another regular who I have who they order multiple things. And I said I had to deliver Casey's order to his house, and just as I got there, someone had shown up with McDonald's. So I'm like, I'm trying to get her to understand that it doesn't automatically default to one person, one driver, even if you make multiple orders. So she goes, okay, I'll wait around. And I said, yep. And if you have any issues, try to contact the driver on the order and do that. I get another order. I have to go back to Zaxby's. As I grab the food and get in the car, my phone goes off again. It's the lady again. And at this point, I'm like, why are you calling me? She calls me. She is not happy. Very irate, very upset. She says to me that, well, this is ridiculous. I'm over here waiting, and you got paid for this. And I was like, ma'am, I did not get paid for this order. And I was in the process of trying to explain to her. I'm like, I would have had to accept the order when it came up. I would have had to approve that I had arrived at the store. I would have had to approve that I had confirmed the order. And the only way I get paid is if I confirm that I had dropped it off to you. I said, I don't get paid until after I drop everything off. I said, I don't get paid on incomplete orders. So then her story changed a little bit to, well, it said it was delivered. And then she said, well, they're putting my stuff back. So I'm like, again, ma'am, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, contact someone at DoorDash. And then she started demanding that I do it, because she said, well, I can't find a number. And here's the thing. If you're doing it on the app, I don't know how easy it is for customers to try to find some kind of customer support through the app. But I do know that if that doesn't work, you do a very simple Google search. But she was pissed off and she just wanted solutions. So she then told me, because then she's mad at me because now she thinks that I'm stealing from her, and I'm trying to explain to her that's not possible. And she says to me that, she goes, well, you need to contact someone. Didn't you call, haven't you talked to someone? Like, who's your boss? And I said, ma'am, we're all independent contractors. I said, we're all independent contractors. We all make our hours. We all make whatever money we can get. I said, I don't exactly have a boss per se that I answer to. I said, I've only spoken to DoorDash 2 times over the phone. And one of them was them sending me one of these like thermal bags. And the other one was me asking questions and how to be upgraded into a Pro Dasher. It literally had nothing to do with a customer and just me inquiring about things. So she says, well, you're going to call them and you're going to get back to me now, and I want this done soon. And then I said, okay, ma'am, well, I'm in the middle of an order right now. I will get to it. And then she hung up on me mid-call. So I took the order. I brought it to where it needed to go. I then pause my current dash, meaning I don't accept orders, and I'm basically taking a break. All of a sudden, I'm on my phone. I'm contacting customer service via their messaging service. I explained to them everything. I told them the situation. I said, this is this person's name. This is this person's number. This person has now contacted me, has now called my number 3 times. 2 times after I had dropped off their order. I said this. They are upset because apparently they had another order at another location, and they think that I somehow have something to do with it. I've tried telling them as well as showing them on my phone that I do not have their order. I said they have called me 2 times after I dropped it off, telling me how, like, they wanted me to go get it. I told them that I can't just go and pick up an order that I'm not authorized to grab because that I could have my account deactivated. So I'm explaining them everything. They said, okay, no worries about it. We'll reach out to this person. We'll take care of it. Go back to doing deliveries. Boom, all done. So I get home a couple hours later. All of a sudden I notice that there's a little, I noticed my ratings, because all the Dashers have like up to 5-star ratings. Notice I had a random 1-star rating on there. Now, I can't automatically assume it was this person, but I was accused of first not having her order. Then I was then implied that I should have gone and get it because it belonged to her anyway. And then she tried accusing me of me pocketing money, despite the fact that I hadn't gone to the other location. And then I'm like, I wouldn't put it past her to have put like a crap rating on me because she was pissed off, because I also went to customer service and contacted them on her behalf, and she still got upset. So maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is this. There are a lot of safeguards in place for people who use DoorDash. A lot. You have the right to get what you paid for. What you do not have the right to do is to belittle and harass other DoorDash employees because there's things going on outside of your control, and it's just easy for you to pick a target. Now, what she should have done in this situation was she should have gone on their website. She should have looked into how to contact someone there, because my wife had done it before, like years ago, before I even did orders for this company, and she was able to get a hold of someone, and they sent out another driver to get our food, to get replacement food free of cost, because someone actually did someone did rip us off. That does happen. But when I show up with an order, and then you proceed to start questioning me as to where your other order is, which I have no knowledge of, and then proceed to insult and berate me because you're pissed off about it, and then demand that I get a hold of guest service for you, and then get back to you. I'm like, first of all, I don't work for you, and you need to have a little more respect. I don't know if this is an end result of people who just stay inside all day, every day, and they don't socialize with people, and they just assume that because they use things like Grubhub and Uber Eats and Doordash and order shit through Amazon and all kinds of other stuff, that somehow gives them this special right to treat other people like garbage the minute there's a problem. It doesn't. Because another feature of Doordash is that I reserve the right to unassign this person if for various reasons. And I said my piece about this to a family member. They said I wouldn't bother going out to her again. And I'm like, no, I'd go out to her one more time, and I'd give her order, and I'd really be hoping that there'd be an apology in there. Like, hey, I'm sorry I did this. Will it happen? I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic. But at the same time, just treat people with respect out there. There's no reason to, be crappy to others. And when it comes to DoorDash, once your order is gone, stop contacting the people who literally have nothing to do with your missing order, and focus on what's currently going on in the here and the now, because all trails point to you being scammed by someone else and not the person who already had dropped off your food. Because that's a really good way to make sure that nobody wants to go back out to you again. Yeah, we don't get paid nearly enough to deal with that kind of harassment. So, oh man. That was just frustrating, because it's like, if I'm not doing orders, I'm on the phone with her. If I'm not looking in an auto store for stuff for car appliances, I have to deal with that. And then to be commanded to do that for her because I don't know why she couldn't do it herself. It's like, this is just someone who just is never in the wrong, or had something actually gone wrong, She was going about it the whole wrong way. So that's that story. Maybe I'll make a habit of telling these stories more often. Let me know in the comments below. You have these kind of stories, not just through DoorDash, but other places too. If you're a driver, you ever experienced something like this? If you're a customer, have you experienced some weird swindlings? Let me know. But I do know that, the women, the men out there just trying to, make a little bit of money, who are doing this honestly, like those creeps out there that rip you off, like they don't speak for all of us, and they're definitely in the minority of people who work for companies like that. So just saying, keep that in mind for reference. And other than that, we have no problem taking it out to you. Just don't take your frustrations out on us.